last few years, my career's really taken off, getting bigger and bigger fights each time, and I couldn't do it without guys like Cad, guys like Tanko, Pro Life Paisley, and my missus always there for me. They've always supported me from day one, even when I was just basic, just starting training.
I'd say that he's a one-track mind. He only wants to kill the person in front of him.
Shows he's a bit of a contradiction, to be honest. He is an animal. He loves hurting people, he loves bullying people. He likes to think he's the alpha when Hawkins not about, but there's the flip side. He's a really sensitive, caring lad, really friendly, really extroverted, and plays it along with the team. He's quite a complex character. He's a little bit of a whinge as well. That's probably because he's never content, never really satisfied with what he's doing, whatever. He always wants to be better. Manage him in terms of fights can be difficult as well. He's never really happy. 1 minute he could say that he would fight someone for nothing, and then the next he's wanting more and more money. And I probably spend more time managing Chris than I do the entire team, and maybe that's why we've become so close, because we're texting all the time outside of the gym, but it's hard to imagine the gym without him now. He's definitely a key figure in it, and good for me as a coach. He keeps me on my toes. He keeps me having to evolve my game and bringing new things into the dynamic, which is what I enjoy as well. So it's great having him in it, and I'm sure people are going to see another evolution of Chris as a fighter. Unlike most sort of A-class guys who seem to maybe plateau or maybe just improve every once in a while, Chris just seems to be improving every aspect all the time. If there's a weak area, he's constantly on it. He's never satisfied. He'll be thinking about it in the drive home. He'll be watching boxing videos or MMA or whatever to bring back into his game and just keep pushing himself. He's got enormous self-belief and very ambitious. He literally would fight anyone. He is, fearless, to be honest. Sometimes you obviously have to hold him back a little bit, but it's great having someone with that self-belief and ambition to really go for the top of the game, because you can only take them as far as they're willing to work and how hungry they are. And Chris he's a different animal. I really think that his hunger is his biggest asset, aside from all his technical aspects and his aggression, his power or whatever. His hunger and work ethic is what really separates him.
He talks himself up to the point where he has to go out and he has to produce the goods in the way that he said he's going to produce them, otherwise he's going to make an ass of himself, and I don't see him doing that, because he's far too stubborn. So he's going to go out, he's going to say, he's going to do what he's going to say, and he's going to do it well. And that's as simple as that is. I believe in him as a teammate.
He's no shy. The way he talks is the way he fights. He's very confident, he's 100% committed. If he tells you you're getting knocked out, usually you're getting knocked out.
I've had already a big tournament this year, fighting Milady now, and then after Milady I've got another few big fights lined up. I'm not going to stop until I'm the best. I don't believe that there's one single fighter at 61 to 63.5 kilo that can beat me. And that's not just being confident, arrogant. I just know I train hard constantly. I don't go through fight camps. I'm constantly training, I'm constantly improving and getting better. That's it. There's no secret.
Obviously with Chris coming into the gym off a few good wins over the last year or two, he thinks he's the top dog, but it's good to keep him in his place now and again, and I think that's my job in the gym. I take that lead role. Smashing him.
February I fought in the dual tournament. There was a lot of guys, when the dual tournament got announced, there was like guys like Paul Kapowicz, Milady was asked to fight in it. A lot of big names get asked to fight in the 61 kilo tournament and they never even bothered. There's a lot of risk in that tournaments, but I was happy to take that risk. I was happy to fight these guys. I know that I can beat every guy at my weight. If he's 61 to 63.5 kilo, there's no guy that can beat me.
To be honest, he's just a pain in the arse, because in a way he's wanting to better himself and he wants to push himself, so seeing if he's in an off night, like last week when I battered him, he was just acting like a wee bitch. But to be fair, everyone has their bad nights, and he just learns from it and goes on.
Being the favourite, it doesn't bother me. I knew going into Dual Tournament I'd everything to lose, but I like being a favourite underdog. It doesn't make a difference to me. I'm just there to fight. I'm happy to fight, and I'll fight any dates in front of me.
When Chris first came to train with us at BoxFit, he was already well known for his knockouts, his aggressive style, his good boxing skills, and just a generally well-rounded, dangerous fighter. But when he fought Panicos for the second time, we really seen some technical holes in his game. He was really dominant and strong to a level, and then at that point, the aggression just wasn't enough. So he realised that he had to work on the clinch and just the general sort of tie scoring and just being smart. Being aggressive is great. He's got a really good sense for when someone's hurt and he goes for the kill. And the guys before had taught him the really good aggressive boxing skills and chaining things together. But there was definitely a few things that he needed to work on, and to be honest, that's where most of my guys tend to specialise. So even with only training with us for a short time before the first Stephen Millady fight, I think we've seen quite a development already, particularly in the clinch game. And although we didn't get the decision the first time, the performance was the important thing. I think a lot of people had written Chris off for the first fight. Even during the fight, you can see the change in the commentary where the guys really appreciated how much he had developed already. Then on the second fight on Yocal, we've seen a further development when he fought Benui. I think that's one of Chris's strongest performances. Again, he was written off by most, and even taking the fight, a lot of people were thinking, yeah, that's a big step, and I could see the fight playing out the way it did. When I looked at Chris and how much he developed and the skills that he had, the both of us knew that performance was coming. And as I said, he took on the underdog role and was quite happy to turn it on its head.
So when me and my brother came in this gym a year ago, I thought that was a fairly decent clincher, so I expected to come in this gym and have a good run at most of the fighters, but straight away the Chrissy Shaw that I'd seen in previous fights didn't turn up in the gym. He was a completely different animal. His clinch game was superb, and that's all down to the brilliant coaching staff at POS.
Also, from the last fight, Chris was only training with us up at Power Scotland for like twice a week. I thought sometimes we could only make it once a week. Then Chris came to Thailand with us and brought more to his game. Obviously before, he was just straightforward, it was one dimensional, just going, everyone knew it was going to happen, but now he's evolved his game a wee bit. He's got more to him, rather than just Chris that goes in for a war and tries to run over the top of people. When you get to this level, that can't really happen, especially a guy like Stephen. Lady will stand there all day, so obviously we'll have to look at it and analyse it a wee bit differently from what we did with the last fight.
The first fight was when I just came to BoxFit. I was aggressive, hungry, I had a lot of skills then, but it's been 2.5 years since then and I've just grown as a fighter. My total game's changed. I can kick with the best guys and clinch with the best of them, and I've got that aggressiveness still that I always had. The boys are all brilliant as well, get a good laugh with the guys. Every night we're in here clinching, sparring, hitting pads together, all helping each other out, and everybody's progressing through it.
Some improvements with Chris, obviously he's evolved his game a wee bit, he understands it a wee bit more. He can go in and go for that knockout, or he can play the game. As you've seen in a few of his last fights, like Chris would always go and intend to knock them out round one, and I think that's a wee bit lacking experience as he gets into more fights. When you've got guys who've had like 50 fights and 55 round fights, but when you're at this level you really need ring time, so all these 1 round knockouts and that are the best. But Chris is understanding that now, and obviously he's getting the ring time, he's obviously taking more fights, and the fights are going the distance, and he's not just going in there for the kill.
The wee man is just a machine. I would go toe to toe with the wee man, and at the end of the round, when he's ready to touch the gloves and I'm ready to stop, The wee man's just hungry. He doesn't want to take no breaks, he doesn't want to take no stops.
So training with Shawsy it's an absolute nightmare. I'm used to a sort of slower pace, tie, nice clinching, nice kicks, but all he wants to do is just grab a hold of your neck and rip it off and just keep going. You know, we're taking breaks, water breaks in between rounds, 1 minute intervals, 30 second intervals, and he's there hitting the bag while we're all taking a drink and just try to rest and recover, and he's still working. You know, it gets to 9:30, nearly 10 o'clock in the gym, and he's still wanting to work away, and he's wearing that wee headband, thinking he's Mayweather. It's ridiculous. I don't know where he gets the energy.
The first fight was close. I can see why the kind of judges have maybe gave him a decision with maybe the knees up the middle and stuff. I thought I'd done enough with landing the big kicks at the end, and I thought I was more aggressive, pushing the pace, but that's what happened. That fight, this fight's going to be totally different. It's going to be another tally mark in my arm.
At the time, me and Gary and Stevie thought Chris had won the fight, but watching it back, it was closer than what we thought. And obviously Milady just winning it, probably with the knees. But to be fair, I think it's a deserved rematch, as the fight was really close and it was a really good fight.
Stephen, he's quality, to be honest. He might not necessarily look the most technical, but he does everything right. He's absolutely solid, tough as nails, and there's a reason why he was ranked number 10 in Lumpini.
He's strong, he's tough, but he's not improved since the first fight. I've improved tonners for the first fight. I've got too much skills for him. If it becomes a boxing game, I can beat him at the boxing game, I can beat him at the kicking game, and I can ragdoll him a bit in the clinching game. I've got too many skills for him. He's going to get knocked out.
Where do we start with all the trash talk? To be fair, see if you didn't really know Chris, you'd just be looking at it and that guy's a half-wit. But the reason he's doing it is because he rates Stephen as a fighter. If he didn't rate Stephen as a fighter, he wouldn't want the rematch. He would just be trying to move on. But he wants to fight Stephen. Stephen's a fight that everyone wants to see. And to be fair, let's be honest, it's worked, because Chris has got the rematch that he wants, and it's probably one of the biggest fights you're going to see in Scotland just now. His trash talk's worked, if you ask me.
I honestly think this fight will be a completely different fight. I expect you'll see Chris maybe come out slower, and I don't know, I think it'll be a very cagey experience, because neither fighter really wants to give up the chance to be the number one in the UK. It's a massive fight.
Both fighters are going to be different, both will have improved a lot, and I'm sure the crowd are going to be in for a really entertaining fight. We're obviously very confident, hence why Shawsy's been whinging non-stop on social media, but to be honest, anybody that knows Chris knows that he's a nice lad. He just really wants to push himself, and if he didn't rate Stephen, he wouldn't even be bothered about the fight. The fact that he's been desperate for the fight is because he does respect Stephen. It's nothing personal. Stephen's a lovely guy, but he's hungry for the fight and wants to show how much he's developed and take that place. Obviously Stephen's number 2 in the rankings, but there was some talk of Panikos perhaps moving into MMA and stuff, but I think he's still going to be hanging around for a little bit. But effectively, it's a fight between two of the top fighters in the division, and the crowd are in for a treat.
Last couple of years I've been underdog for a lot of fights. The first fight with Milady, I was underdog for that. I was going to get knocked out, smashed within the last couple of rounds, and look how the fight went. Even the commentators were saying that I was going to get smashed, and by the end of it they were changing their decision as well. After the Milady fight, I proved, everybody said I was going to get knocked out of Benoui. He was going to smash me, just smashed Darren O'Connor, and then I absolutely played about with him for 5 rounds. He didn't even win a round against me, and at the end he actually put his hand out and he said that he'd lost. Do you know what I mean? He gave up, he chucked it.
Man, if somebody's going to come and they want to go toe to toe, punch for punch, well, good luck to you. You're going to need it. If you go toe to toe with Chris Shaw, that's it. Hat off to you. Well done. Congratulations, because that wee man will put anybody on the rest.
Obviously, I'm backing Christopher in this fight, but I'd just like to wish Stephen Milady all the best, and the fans are in for a treat if it's to go in and buy the last fight, which was an absolute war. There was lots of blood, and it was a quality fight to watch.
And now I'm starting to become the favourite. Guys are avoiding me. they're running away for the fights, whereas before I was always the underdog. I've had to fight up to 67 kilo and have done last year a couple of times, but it doesn't bother me. I'll fight heavier. I'm confident in my abilities, I know my skills, and I know I train hard for all these guys. We've been chasing the lady fight for 2 years since it happened. They've been avoiding it. Finally they've actually took it, because I've had to book on Facebook, abusing them, ridiculing them, calling them all sorts of names. But finally he's took the fight and he's manned the fuck up.
So anybody in his category, just stand back and go to the boys' way and let them just go right to the top of the tree.
Obviously in the Thai boxing game there's always people who want to do sideline bets, and to be fair my money would obviously would be biased and say Chris on points. I think there's talks about $3 grand going up for bets and stuff like that. No taking anything away from Stephen. Stephen's a really respectable fighter as well, and that's why I'm saying a points win and not a knockout, because I know Stephen's tough and I know he'll be there at the end, but I just think the way Chris has evolved his game throughout the last 3 to 4 years, obviously with his trips to Thailand and stuff and his understanding of his sport, I think he's clever enough to take Stephen to points and win in a decision.
But 2 years is a long time, and although Stephen will have improved a lot, training with the guys at Padco, I'm confident in the improvements that Chris has made. I think his clinch game is night and day since coming with us full time. I think that he can stay on the outside, and I think he can punch and kick really well, both guards. He can fight on the back foot, and when he wants to, he can go for that kill as well. So yeah, he's improved a lot, and I think that I can see him getting the edge in this fight. He's really confident. Well, he's always confident, to be fair. I could throw him in against anyone and he'd be up for it, but we're really confident, and a lot of the guys have seen how he's training and asking for ridiculous bets and stuff. So I'm sure we're in for another war. I'm sure it's going to be another really entertaining fight, and there's a reason why it's one of the most anticipated fights we've had here for a long time.
There's no even point asking me how Milady's going to beat me. What's he going to do? What's he going to do? Kick my front leg off me? What's he going to left body kick? Is he going to run in and clinch? Thinks he's better than clinching me? He's not. He thinks because he's got this strength and he trains at bad company, he's got all these talents. He's not. There's nothing he can do that I'm no better than him at. I'm better than him at every aspect. He's got nothing, absolutely nothing to beat me. He could get in there with a shovel and I'd still smash him. I'll still be there standing there. He could hit me with a shovel and I'll be standing there punching me and elbowing him in the face.